Hello everyone and welcome on this new weekly market analysis video on the Dow Jones and the pound JPY and the dollar and finally the oil. Now as usual, let's now begin analyzing the pound JPY. Now first of all, from the first look at the pound JPY on the weekly chart, keep in mind my friends, we are actually on the weekly chart right now. Now what we can see right here is a long-term support trend line. As you can see, the market has actually been respecting that level since March 2022, actually since March 2020, sorry. And so far, the pound JPY is indeed showing a lot of respect to that level. Indicates that most likely the next candle is actually going to be bullish and the pound JPY eventually going to continue the rise to reach the resistance level at 172.500. Indicates that we have actually start to consider buying this pair. Now the question is where? Now let's keep this level right here. Let's now move to the daily chart. And now based on the daily chart, what we can see right here is a very clear resistance trend line. And pay attention, my friends, to that level because it has been respected repeatedly. But wait, there is more to it. As you can see, what we have right here is one single attempt of the resistance trend line. Then eventually the market has instantly, on the second attempt of it, immediately made a bullish breakout from that level and made number 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts of a new support trend line. Now what happened later is after that bearish breakout candle appeared, again the market has made another one single attempt of the resistance trend line, and on the second attempt of it the market has made the bullish breakout and ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attempts of that support trend line. So meaning we are having a lot more of a support trend lines here, more than a resistance trend lines. And of course that makes a lot of sense since we are actually on an upper trend and seems like the market is indeed going to continue the rise. Now that means that this support trend line right here is very strong and most likely is going to continue keeping its position. So meaning we have to consider buying the market as somewhere right here. But wait, there is more to it. Before that, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and of course share the video. So again, what we are having right here is the broken level of a triangle. That is of course, my friends, what we call the sniper strategy. We have to look for a pattern which has been actually trapped inside of a triangle, then wait for the bullish breakout from it and then buy exactly at the retest. But before that we have to confirm that on the left side there has actually been a very strong real level of a support that can actually support our decision to start buying right here. So meaning we have to consider buying right here, but we have to confirm that on the left side there was indeed a real level of a support. That can be seen as well right here exactly. Right there exactly at, let me just be sure, exactly at 159.508. That level, my friends, has actually been a very strong real level of a support over the time. Even recently right here it became a resistance as well, but of course since we are on an upper trend and the market is indeed respecting that level, as we can see we have number 1, 2, 3, 4 candles right here has indeed respected that level of a support. So that means if we switch right now to the 4-hour time frame, as you can see, this is really perfect. As you can see, my friends, we have right here the real level of a support, and then we had here the last fake breakout from that level. Indicates that we have to wait for the market to make another pullback and reach the same level of that real level of a support, and then from that point we can safely start buying the pound JPY. Now of course if we do that, the take profit level has got to be placed right there exactly at the peak of the real level of a resistance right there at 162.170. Meanwhile, the safe zone should not be ranging lower than this level of the bottom of the support exactly right here at 158.237, which means we will actually be aiming 268 pips profit from the signal. Meanwhile, the safe zone is going to be ranging for about 127 pips. I actually had to change the safe zone because it was really a lot of pips, and therefore we have ended up with about 90 pips of a safe zone against 270 pips of profit. Hopefully guys it's gonna be profitable and hopefully everyone is gonna make good profits with it. That's everything for the pound JPY. Let's now move to the Dow Jones. Alright, so the Dow Jones, my friends, actually respecting the same level of a support which I have actually talked about in the last 2 weeks. The Dow Jones, I actually have sent this signal before, if I'm not mistaken, to buy the, actually if I can actually make this, how can I move this one? Guys, I'm not familiar so much with the trading view, honestly. Okay, let me delete it. And actually, guys, let me just tell you that in the past, I have sent a signal to buy the Dow Jones, I think, as somewhere right here on that level of a support. However, as you can see, that signal is activated already and it's running in profit. However, we have to still continue buying the Dow Jones. If we look right now at the weekly chart, as you can see, these two candles which has appeared right here at that level of a support, as you can see, this was of course a real level of a support as well. That level, my friends, is now becoming a new level of a support. And since we are actually on the weekly chart, seeing that price action indicates that the market is getting ready for another bullish reversal, which means a continuation in the upper movement. Therefore, moving now to the daily chart. Now on the daily chart, we can see right here that the market has indeed respected that level of a support zone, and the last daily candle has also confirmed that the next movement seems like it's gonna be bullish movement. But wait, of course, there is more to it. Now, what we can see right here, actually, I'm not really used to trading view chart. Anyway, I need to move to the 4-hour time frame right now. Yes, my goodness. Right now on the 4-hour time frame, what we can see right here is of course that level of a support trend line, of course also being respected. And if we copy and clone these levels, we can see right here that we have actually ended up with that channel. So meaning the market is indeed respecting that level, and most likely the Dow Jones is indeed going to make another pullback right here, and we have to buy it somewhere right here, and then it's going to continue the rise, and the target of course has got to be right here, the other edge of that channel. Since of course we have confirmed based on the weekly chart and the daily chart that the direction is going to be up, or it's actually going to be bullish, that means we have to consider buying the market. And that's the reason I said that the target has got to be right here, the other edge of the channel. Otherwise, if we didn't confirm the direction on the weekly and daily chart, we actually could have expected from the pair to continue the fall and make the bearish breakout from that level. But again, I don't see this happening right now. Therefore, let's now move to the 1-hour time frame. Now on the 1-hour time frame, what we can see right here is really interesting, because we can see right here that we are having also that level of a resistance trend line, and seems like the Dow Jones, after actually facing the resistance level right here at 32300, it actually might make a pullback right here and then retest the broken level of a resistance trend line, and then it's going to be also respecting the real level of a support right here, and from that point we can start buying the Dow Jones. That means if we look at the levels of a real support right here from horizontally point, we can confirm that right here exactly, let me just be precise to the maximum, exactly, yes, 32027, my friends, has indeed been a very strong real level of a support, even as a resistance in the past. However, we can see clearly that this level has indeed been respected lately as a real level of a support, and even this was a real level. We have ended up here with a fake breakout, combining this with the resistance trend line right here. All of that together indicates that the Dow Jones actually might make a pullback upon the pressure from the resistance right here to retest the broken level to create right here, of course, a new support trend line, and from there we can start buying the Dow Jones. So that being said, if we start buying right here, my goodness, if we start buying right here, our take profit level has got to be right here at the peak of the resistance at 32622. Yes, that actually is convenient. However, for the safe zone, it's got to be right here at the absolute lowest level of the support at 31751, which means we are actually going to be aiming. Of course, we cannot talk about the pips terms when we're talking about the Dow Jones. The numbers are huge anyway. Let me now write the signal for you. Let's now move to the DXY. Alright, so this is of course the dollar, and as everyone knows, I'm already analyzing this pair always before sending the weekly market analysis on my channel. However, let me now tell you what I think about the dollar. Now, as you can see, my friends, right here, the dollar is indeed facing right here a real level of a support trend line as well. Let me just show it to you. As we can see exactly right there. So meaning that the dollar has actually a potential to continue the rise for this week, and the target has got to be right here, the nearest strong real level of the resistance to our current price, or the current level, which means since we're actually analyzing based on the weekly chart, we have to consider, or actually to expect, the next candle only. And the next candle at this rate is got to be blue candle after seeing the bullish reversal happened upon the pressure from that support trend line. Anyway, let's now move to the daily chart. As we can see, my friends, the daily chart price action here shows us that the market is indeed ready for a bullish continuation movement, which means we have to look at the left side to find the nearest strong green level of a support. That can be seen, of course, right here. I mean, it's really obvious on the daily chart. We don't even need to switch to the 4-hour time frame, but anyway, let's do it and move to the 4-hour time frame. As you can see on the 4-hour time frame, this was of course the real level of a support, and right here we had the fake breakout, and lately we can see the market has made has begun of course the bullish reversal upon the pressure from the resistance right here at 103.100, and most likely right now the dollar is going to continue the fall to reach that level of a previous support and respects it, and from that point we can start safely buying the dollar. Now, of course, if we started buying right here, we have to consider that we should close our trade in profit right here, guys, on the nearest strong green level of a resistance, exactly right there to be precise, exactly like this at 103.807. Meanwhile, the safe zone shouldn't actually be ranging lower than this level of a support right here, exactly right there. Perfect. Let me just be sure. Looking at the left side, and of course this was a real level of a resistance. It was also a real level of a support. Yes, fantastic. This is going to be the safe zone, which means we'll actually be considering to make about 115 pips profit from the signal. Meanwhile, the safe zone will be ranging for about 47 pips. Let's now move to the oil. Now, as you can see, my friends, I actually have analyzed the oil before recording, therefore I better keep it so we can just save your time right here. As you can see, the oil has indeed made actually the bearish breakout from that level of a triangle, and as you can see, the market has here made several attempts of a resistance trend line and of course a support trend lines, which has recently been broken out from, which means we have to consider selling the oil at a certain level, and that can be seen clearly right here at the previous real level of a support as 72.50. Right now, the oil, if I move to the 4-hour time frame, as you can see, the oil has already made here a number 1 of a support, and this was of course the second attempt of it, which means this is support number 2. Now the market seems like it's gonna continue the rise, and it's most likely gonna be revisiting the price at 72.50. And from that point, I think, my friends, we can start selling the oil, since if we look at the left side, this from technical view has been a very strong real level of a support, which means selling right here exactly is going to be ideal. However, for the take profit level, it's going to be placed right here at the absolute lowest level of the support as 65 point. Actually, let me just rise it. 65.65. Meanwhile, the safe zone shouldn't actually be ranging higher than this level of a previous support right here, exactly at 74.94. From fundamentals view, of course, I have already made some studies about it, and I believe that the oil is indeed gonna continue the fall. We don't of course have much time to explain it, but however, if we look at the daily chart, we can notice right here, my friends, that the daily chart shows us right here a very strong real level of a support indeed. And if we look at the bigger picture, we can confirm that we're having here a resistance trend line, and seems like indeed we have ended up right here with a real level of a resistance trend line and 3 attempts of a resistance trend line. Then we have ended up also with another fake breakout. Therefore, if the market is going to be able to reach that level of a previous support, it's going to also be facing the real level of a resistance trend line, and most likely upon the pressure from it, it's going to indeed make the bearish breakout, sorry, the bearish reversal, and reach that level of a support right here, and at 65.65. And that's of course gonna be our take profit level. And there goes the signal, my friends, for the pairs as we have mentioned earlier for this week. Hopefully, guys, it's gonna be very profitable, and hopefully it's gonna be good signals. And again, I want to remind everyone to be very careful. Just because these signals came from Xtreme Trader doesn't mean at all that they will be 100% profitable. They of course subjective to the news, and they might actually go in the wrong direction. So for that reason, please, guys, always be prepared and get ready for a potential losses. However, thankfully in Xtreme Trader, we are having a very high winning ratio, but it doesn't mean that we never fail. Sometimes, unfortunately, these signals doesn't work. Anyway, until then, I hope that was informative to you, and I would like to thank you for watching.